Behind every legend lies a reason. This is Myth and Motive.
Subscribe to the Guy and Migo channel so you don't miss exciting videos.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Between the two continents of Asia and Europe lies a not-so-unfamiliar country, Turkey.
This name is surely something everyone has heard, but not many know about its glorious past, when it once dominated the West Asian region. Turkey is also closely linked to the famous legend of Troy, where battles took place that left golden pages in world history. The more we learn, the more we see that Turkey has an extremely unique and ancient history and culture.
Today, let's join Myth and Motive to explore Turkey in more detail, a country that seems ordinary but is very interesting.
Let's begin.
Turkey has a unique geographical position, lying at the crossroads of two continents.
Because of this, the country plays an important role in connecting Asia with Europe. Turkey has close ties with Eastern Europe, Southern Europe, and West Asia, and through the Mediterranean, it also directly connects with African countries.
Turkey stretches over 1,600 kilometers in length and over 800 kilometers in width, with a shape nearly resembling a rectangle. The part of its territory in Asia accounts for 97% of the country's total.
Separated from the European part of Turkey by the Bosphorus Strait, the Sea of Marmara, and the Dardanelles Strait.
The European part of Turkey accounts for only 3% of the country's total area. This country is the 37th largest in the world, surrounded by sea on three sides: the Aegean Sea to the west, the Black Sea to the north, and the Mediterranean Sea to the south. The European part of Turkey is eastern Thrace, which borders Greece and Bulgaria.
The Asian part of Turkey is Anatolia, consisting of a high central plateau and narrow coastal plains between the Koroglu and Pontic Mountains to the north and the Taurus Mountains to the south. Eastern Turkey has a mountainous landscape and is the source of rivers such as the Euphrates, Tigris, and Aras.
The highest point in Turkey is Mount Ararat at 5,137 meters, and the largest lake in the country is Lake Van.
Although 97% of its area is in Asia, it is considered a European country because its capital is in Europe. Turkey's diverse landscape is the result of complex geological activities that have shaped the region over thousands of years, evidenced by frequent earthquakes and occasional volcanic eruptions.
The Bosphorus and Dardanelles Straits exist due to a fault line running through the country. This fault line is the main cause of the formation of the Black Sea. This Asian country has a diverse climate due to differences in terrain and latitude. The coastal regions of Turkey bordering the Aegean and Mediterranean seas have a temperate Mediterranean climate with hot, dry summers and cool, wet winters. The coastal regions bordering the Black Sea have a temperate oceanic climate with warm, humid summers and cold, wet winters.
Turkey's Black Sea coast receives the highest rainfall and is the only region in the country that receives high rainfall throughout the year. Although not among the top powers, Turkey is the 19th largest economy in the world and a founding member of the OECD and G20. Starting as a low-income country, Turkey has made remarkable progress, rising to become the 19th largest economy in the world. According to IMF statistics in 2023, with abundant natural resources and skillfully leveraging its advantageous position at the crossroads of three continents, Asia, Europe, and Africa,
Turkey has a dynamic economy, developing multiple sectors from mining, electronics, machinery manufacturing, household appliances, food processing, shipbuilding to construction and agriculture.
Turkey's main export industries include automotive,
car manufacturing, petrochemicals, electronics, and textiles. Export value increased exponentially 7 times in just 20 years, reaching $254.2 billion in 2022. Foreign trade in Turkey is also vibrant, with import quotas exceeding $250 million annually. High consumption demand from a population of over 84 million and its role as a key gateway to the Middle Eastern and European markets. Tourism is also one of Turkey's key economic sectors, attracting over 40 million foreign tourists annually. Statistics for the first 8 months of 2023 show Turkey welcomed nearly 34 million foreign visitors, 3 times the number of international tourists to Vietnam, a 14% increase compared to the same period last year.
According to IMF forecasts, global GDP in 2023 will reach $105 trillion. Turkey's GDP reached $1 trillion, much higher than European countries like Switzerland, Belgium, Austria, Poland. Notably, this figure is double the combined GDP of Portugal and Greece, or equal to the combined GDP of Sweden and Denmark. According to the 2023 Global Innovation Index, GII, published by the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, Turkey entered the top 40 economies with the best innovation performance for the first time and was also rated as one of the 7 middle-income countries that made the most progress in innovation over the past decade.
Despite facing many difficulties, especially after the earthquake in early 2023, Turkey's economy made strong efforts to recover and recorded positive results with GDP growth reaching 4% in 2023.
Latest data from the IMF shows encouraging growth amid a declining global economy, providing momentum for Turkey's economy to continue growing in the near future. For the Turkish people, history and culture are what they are most proud of and respect. This country has experienced many ups and downs over the centuries. It can be considered the only country preserving Eastern and Western cultures, home to many world-famous architectural works and ancient cultural heritage. Going back to prehistoric times, we know that humans once lived in caves, and there is one place in the world where humans have lived continuously for 25,000 years. That is the Karain Cave, located on Turkey's Mediterranean coast. This makes it one of the longest continuously inhabited sites in the world, one of the few places on the planet inhabited for millennia, and Karain Cave, an ancient Anatolian site, is one of those fascinating locations. One of the most prominent historical events in Turkey is the Trojan War. According to Homer's epic, the war occurred because Prince Paris of Troy abducted Helen, the beautiful queen of King Menelaus of Sparta in Greece, to be his wife, angering the king who led an attack on Troy, resulting in a bloody war lasting 10 years. As a result, Troy fell and was buried deep underground for thousands of years. However, for thousands of years, people believed Homer's epic was fictional and Troy never existed. In 1868, businessman and archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann and other archaeologists spent years excavating and discovered the ancient ruins of the legendary Troy beneath the city of Çanakkale, Turkey. It is a very ancient city first built around 3000 BC. This city, like Istanbul, spans 2 continents, Europe and Asia. However, the area where Troy once thrived was much more developed than the European shore. In 1998, Troy was recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage Site. Previously, Alexander the Great, King of Macedonia, conquered the Anatolian region of present-day Turkey, increasing cultural homogeneity and Hellenization in the area. After his death in 323 BC, Alexander's vast empire was divided among his generals. Many of them fought each other for the best parts. General Lysimachus emerged victorious in 301 BC and declared sovereignty over western and central Anatolia. This new king built many stadiums and ancient Greek temples. This was the golden age of Greek art, architecture, and classical literature. In 133 BC, the last king of the royal line died without an heir and left his kingdom to Rome. In 129 BC, the Roman Republic declared Anatolia a province of Asia Minor. Roman rule brought increased trade and prosperity to Anatolia, while providing fertile ground for the spread of a new religion. Paul made several journeys across the country on Rome's excellent roads, visiting prosperous Jewish communities, where churches for the new faith were born. Roman rule continued after the Roman Republic became the Roman Empire.
Throughout the 12th and 13th centuries, the passage of Crusader armies plunged Anatolia into chaos. During this time, much of Anatolia was occupied by the Turks, initiating the Turkification of the region. The Turkish language and Islam were introduced to Anatolia and gradually spread throughout. This transformed Anatolia from a Christian and Greek-speaking area to an Islamic and Turkish-speaking one.
1288, the reign of Osman I evolved into the Ottoman Empire. 1453 The Ottomans completed the conquest of the Eastern Roman Empire by capturing Constantinople, present-day Istanbul.
On October 29, 1923, in the capital Ankara, the Republic of Turkey was born.
Land of the brave people. Turkey's national emblem, flag, and anthem all feature the image of a white crescent moon and a slightly tilted star, symbols of luck and victory. At that time, the Treaty of Lausanne stipulated a population exchange between Greece and Turkey. 1.1 million Greeks left Turkey, while 380,000 Muslims moved from Greece to Turkey.
Due to unique characteristics of natural geography, national history, and missionary history, Islam in Turkey today has a very distinct character, an open Islam, not falling into a closed, extreme, or conservative state.
Development. At the very least, it does not hinder the country. In Turkey, Islam plays a significant role in political and social life.
Indeed, Islam is a very important factor contributing to the stability and development of this country to this day. Turkey is a bridging nation, not only geographically between Asia and Europe, bridging the relationship between the Islamic world and Western culture, but also one that maintains Islamic traditions while adapting to modern society. The secular state in a predominantly Muslim country like Turkey is currently a model aspired to by many Islamic nations. Turkey has a relatively strong economy, a non-oil-based economy, and is a famous tourist country that has attracted much attention from global investors.
In 2017,
the Turkish government launched a citizenship program to attract foreign investors by granting citizenship to investors and their families. Since September 2018, the program reduced the investment threshold from $1 million to $250,000 through real estate ownership. Refundable after just 3 years, with quick opportunities to obtain US and UK residency visas. A country with a distinctive history like Turkey certainly preserves many impressive ancient structures. One of these is Erenkuyu, the world's largest underground city, with an age of thousands of years.
Deep well.
The underground city of Erenkuyu has a system of tunnels and interconnected rooms. The structure was used almost continuously thousands of years ago as a shelter, protecting people from war and natural disasters.
The origin of Erenkuyu is still highly debated. Some theories suggest this underground city dates back to the Phrygians, then the Persians, and Byzantine Christians, the ancient Greek city, around 780–1180.
It is also considered to have protected people from natural disasters and the wars between Arabs and Byzantines. During this period, chapels shaped like caves contained many texts inscribed in Greek.
The inhabitants used large rolling stones to close the city from the inside, preventing enemy intrusion. In 1963, the underground city of Derinkuyu was accidentally discovered when dark tunnels were revealed during the man's home renovation in the Cappadocia region.
This dark tunnel was believed to be one of 600 entrances to the ancient city. During excavation, a complex network was discovered, including underground houses, stables, wine cellars, dry food storage, farms, schools, wine presses, prisons, and chapels. The local rock is quite soft, making tunnel digging easier but also posing significant risks to structural stability.
The structure required large support pillars.
The puzzling mystery here is that not a single level of Derinkuyu has collapsed. The ventilation system of the Derinkuyu underground city was created from over 15,000 shafts reaching down to the levels, ensuring air circulation to
the upper levels near the surface were used for living and resting as they had the best ventilation.
The deeper underground levels were mainly for food storage, warehouses, or dungeons. The middle levels of the underground city were used for various purposes such as wine presses, livestock, monasteries, and small churches. The most famous among them is the cross-shaped church on the 7th level. In 1985, the Derinkuyu underground city was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. This place is also one of the most unique and outstanding tourist attractions in the Cappadocia region, Turkey.
In Turkey's most famous city, Istanbul,
which was once the capital of powerful empires such as the Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman,
there also exist extremely fascinating landmarks, among which the Moukhale must be mentioned. In 1988, UNESCO recognized Pamukkale as a World Natural Heritage Site, and it was hailed as the 8th natural wonder of the world. Pamukkale, about 650 kilometers from the capital Istanbul, is the name in Turkish. Cotton Castle.
Just hearing the name, many people might think this fortress is made of cotton or is a place where cotton is grown.
That's not the case. They're ISN. In reality, Pamukkale is like a natural hill formed from layers of sedimentary limestone. Due to water from underground hot springs rich in calcium,
flowing over the cliffs for many years. From this, a series of pure white limestone travertines form, stacked on top of each other like Paris rice fields. Spring water accumulates between the limestone layers, forming small turquoise-colored pools. Importantly, scientists have proven that this water source is extremely beneficial for human health, even having healing properties. 17 hot springs, with temperatures ranging from 35 to 100 degrees Celsius, help support the treatment such as high blood pressure, heart disease, rheumatism, nervous disorders, digestive issues, eye diseases, skin diseases, and nutritional disorders. When visiting, you can freely choose a suitable temperature area to immerse yourself and enjoy.
According to ancient legend, there was a girl so ugly that no young man wanted to marry her.
At the age of 4, she threw herself into the pool at Pamukkale to commit suicide but did not die. Instead, the natural mineral water gifted her with flawless white skin, beautiful like a princess.
When the lord of the Denizli region passed by, he fell deeply in love and decided to marry her. From then on, the local people also believed in the beautifying power of the pools at Pamukkale and flocked there to bathe, hoping for health and smooth, bright skin. There is also a story that around 2,000 years ago, the young king Attalus of the Pergamon kingdom built the foundation of the city Hierapolis. At that time, this place was considered a center for healthcare and beauty. People from all over Anatolia came here to bathe in the pools to relieve fatigue. Today, this place still attracts beauty enthusiasts from all over the world.
When visiting, tourists can both bathe in the mineral pools and enjoy the scenery as beautiful as paradise.
Another sacred site in Turkey that also attracts a lot of international attention is the Göbekli Tepe Temple, the oldest temple in the world.
This structure dates back about 12,000 years. The temple was built by prehistoric people who lived by hunting and gathering during the Neolithic period, before the invention of writing and the wheel.
In July 2018, UNESCO officially recognized the Göbekli Tepe Temple as a World Heritage Site. Each year, this site attracts many tourists and history enthusiasts to visit. The Turkish Ministry of Tourism and Culture even declared 2019 as the year of Göbekli Tepe in the country.
Göbekli Tepe is one of the most important archaeological sites in the world. It is located on a small hill 15 kilometers northwest of the city of Şanlıurfa.
Şanlıurfa is called the City of Prophets because it is related to the story of the prophet Abraham.
At the same time, this is also the place that preserves the holy relic, Unangulion, the shroud of Jesus.
In Şanlıurfa, archaeologists discovered a limestone statue of a person, life-sized. This statue is the world's oldest stone carving, dating from 10,000 to 9,000 BCE. Some experts argue that the Göbekli Tepe Temple is a major step in the development of religion, along with the connection between humans and God. It marks the beginning of human civilization and may be the root of the 3 major monotheistic religions in the world, including Judaism, Islam, and Christianity.
The area of the Göbekli Tepe Temple was not a place where people lived.
Researchers found no signs of food storage here. Therefore, it is likely that the temple was built for worship and religious purposes.
And at that time, people believed that changes in climate and natural disasters, affecting crops, storms, floods, droughts, and soil toxicity, were related to supernatural powers or the wrath of the gods.
Natural disasters sometimes took many lives and disrupted people's daily lives.
With the desire for a stable life, favorable weather for agricultural cultivation,
prehistoric people thought of ways to appease anger and please the gods through rituals of animal sacrifice and even human sacrifice. Perhaps they built the Göbekli Tepe Temple to serve this purpose. Gift bearer. On its surface,
A kneeling person is carved, holding an animal head in hand to offer to the gods.
additionally, they also discovered fragments of 3 skulls. All of them bore deep, intentional vertical incisions.
Notably, on one fragment at the top of the skull, there is a small drilled hole.
Many experts believe this hole was used to thread a string through the skull during a ritual.
The deep incisions were intended to prevent the binding string from slipping.
Many still think Turkey is an ordinary country, but in reality, it holds many surprising and interesting things.
When mentioning tulips, people often think of the Netherlands, yet the homeland of tulips is actually Turkey. History does not record in detail the specific location where tulips were first cultivated in Turkey, but the locals popularized the flower and facilitated the tulip's arrival in the Netherlands.
Soon after, it erupted into tulip mania, or the tulip craze, which peaked in February 1637 during the era of Suleiman I. Another common misconception is that they prefer coffee the most, but in fact, Turkey is the world's largest consumer of tea.
Approximately 96% of the total population drinks at least 1 cup of tea.
It is estimated that
Turks consume 3 kilograms of tea per person annually.
Therefore, if you visit Turkey, you should not miss the traditional tea experience.
Tea is very popular here, and they drink it up to 20 times a day.
If you are in Turkey, you might be considered impolite if you don't drink tea after every meal.
Like many other countries, Turkey is also extremely fond of football. The Turkish national football team has achieved high honors on the international stage,
placing 3rd and winning the bronze medal at the 2002 FIFA World Cup,
and reaching the semifinals of the 2008 UEFA European Championship.
Other major sports like basketball and volleyball are also popular in Turkey.
However, the traditional national sport of Turkey is oil wrestling, dating back to the Ottoman period. The city of Demre has been hosting the annual Kırkpınar oil wrestling tournament since 1361.
Internationally governed wrestling styles like freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling are also popular. Turkish wrestlers have won many titles at European, world, and Olympic levels, in both individual and national team events.
Overall, Turkey is a peaceful and lovely country. However, driving in Turkey can be challenging for the faint of heart.
The winding roads, roundabouts, and signs pose difficulties for inexperienced drivers navigating here. Turks can be quite impatient and hot-tempered in traffic, which completely contrasts with their general character. Sometimes they seem to risk their own and others' lives by driving hastily on the roads.
This is further exacerbated by traffic congestion, especially in Istanbul.
Be advised, never make hand gestures like waving to ask for way, as such actions are considered offensive and provocative.
If you encounter emergency situations, flash your hazard lights, and then Turkish drivers will yield the way for you. Another thing you should mentally prepare for before visiting this country is the culture of hospitality.
Turks care deeply about hospitality. If someone visits their home, they will do everything to make the guest feel comfortable and at ease. This can sometimes make the guest of a Turk
feel a bit uncomfortable.
For example, if you visit a friend or relative in Turkey, they will insist you eat again and again, even if you are not hungry.
They will say, "If you don't eat, I will be very sad."
Or they might even say, "If you don't eat, you are disrespecting me." Of course, you can say no, but Turks like to make you feel as if you are in your own home. Therefore, they will want to feed you a lot, have you stay comfortably for a long time, and even try to persuade you to stay overnight.
Before you ring the bell, they will open the door and say something like, "Wow, look who's here."
If you are not Turkish, you might be a bit bewildered by their joy and surprise. So, before visiting a local's home, be prepared to receive their warm reception.
Thus, we have just learned many more interesting things about Turkey, the country straddling 2 continents, Asia and Europe.
From the great architectural achievements of the Ottoman Empire to the stunning natural heritage, Turkey always knows how to captivate visitors with its beauty and diversity. The harmonious blend of tradition and modernity, of Eastern and Western culture, creates a unique and attractive Turkey.
While stepping out of its glorious past, the country is rapidly advancing into the future with strong economic development and an increasingly important role on the international stage.
Turkey, with all its values and potential, will undoubtedly continue to be an important and highly attractive destination for the world. This video ends here. Thank you all for watching. Dawn.
If the legend hooked you, subscribe and open the next case.